Scene 2, take 2, and action.
Take 2 and action.
Hi, dude.
Hi. My name is Aidan Yunus. I'm from Junior 1 ARA. I'm in Harimau and I'm 15 years old. I think I connect with body the most. I think because ever since young I've been playing like a lot of sports and I'm a very sporty person, and I feel that you need to use your body a lot to play sports, obviously. Well, most sports. So I think I connect with body the most. I think getting a career in sports is actually really hard to do, just based on the sheer competition and effort and time that you have to put into it to be truly successful, and there is a bit of luck involved as well. So I don't think that my main career in the future will be related to sports, but I would probably still play sports maybe casually for the rest of my life. I've always liked computers, so I'll probably do something along that field. Even when I was crawling, I would play with this, I don't know, a balloon. And I would go to my grandma's house. She has like a pretty large garden. Then me and my parents, or me and my grandma, we would play sports like football, a bit of tennis. I do enjoy racket sports a lot. And I've been playing racket sports since I was 8 in primary school. So I think I'm more of a racket sports person than a normal sports person. Every day, if I didn't play sports, I would likely just go home after a long day of school. I'll probably not do my homework because I don't do much of it anyway. But I would probably just sit at my computer all day and just be lazy. And I probably can't even imagine myself doing that for the rest of my life, just doing nothing. You know? I mean, there are some sacrifices that I have made because of my everyday, most day training and my tournaments. Like, sacrifice social time. I could be more social if I didn't play sports every day as a commitment. But I don't think I can imagine myself without sports, because like, it's what I do, it's my thing. I don't like dancing, I don't like singing, I don't like studying. I mean, it's my thing, it's what I love doing. And I've been doing that for the past 10 years of my life, and I would not be able to get used to not playing sports. When I was 12, I was a bit of an airhead back then. I was a bit cocky when it came to squash, you know? So there was this tournament, the national tournament. I was seeded 3rd. That means I was supposed to get 3rd in the tournament. So I was cocky, overconfident, and then first day I didn't warm up, I didn't stretch because I thought it was going to be an easy game. And then so I went into the court. It was a 9 o'clock match, so I was still asleep at that time. It's pretty early. So I walked into the court. I looked at this guy who I'm playing against. This guy is like twice my height and he's like twice my size, but we're in the same age category. And then I realized that how underprepared I was. And then a lot of people were watching because people like to watch me play. I don't know why, but I lost 3-0 pretty badly. And then I came out, I cried. I came out and cried because I thought I was gonna do well this tournament, but I didn't do anything to make sure that I was gonna do well that tournament. And I paid the price for it. I got kicked out in the first round and I couldn't do anything about it. It was my own fault. And it was obviously embarrassing because everyone watched me make a fool out of myself inside the court because I was just lazy and underprepared and cocky and overconfident. So that's something I've never repeated that mistake before. I've always done my research on my opponents. I have warmed up, I've trained adequately for the tournament. I didn't tire myself out before the game. Like when I was younger, I would run around the stadium with my friends throwing a frisbee right before my match, and I would obviously get tired out. And I did that before that match as well. So I've never done that before. I took it seriously from then on, just so that I wouldn't have to experience that again. Because it was just a horrible experience and it was my own fault. I play very competitive sport. I play competitive squash, mainly. That's my main sport. If you want to play at a high level and if you want to really like get good at something, you have to put ridiculous amounts of hours into training and getting yourself better and fitter and whatnot. It requires a lot of sacrifices to get to somewhere where others want to be. Like, I would train for hours and hours before a big tournament just so I can prove to everyone that I'm supposed to be a higher ranking than I should be, you know? So it takes a lot to play competitive sports, and the sacrifices you have to make are pretty immense. You sacrifice time with friends, time with family, free time. Sometimes your studies get a bit affected. I don't know whether for other people, but that's just me because I'm kind of lazy as well. But it takes a lot to make a good sportsman, and not many people have that. For mind, when you play sports, especially competitive sports, the mental aspect is very, very important when you're playing, for example, squash. When you're in that court with someone else who wants to beat you, you have to want to beat him more than he wants to beat you. It's all about that, I don't know how you say it, the hunger that you have and the mental strength to persist in a match. Even when you're exhausted, you can't go anymore, your legs are cramping, you know, your arms are tired, but you keep going because you want to win, you want it, you know? So you have to have that mental strength, because if you don't want it, that means it's most likely that you're not good enough because you don't think you're good enough. For Seoul, I'm really not a performing arts person. Like, I joined production 1 year, I really didn't like it, sorry. But it's just not my thing. I mean, everyone has that thing that they enjoy doing. A lot of people enjoy dancing, playing sports, some people studying. That's kind of a stretch. But Seoul, I don't know, I'd say that Seoul is also applicable to when you play sports, because like I said, is when you go to train every day, most people after school, they go home, they do a bit of homework, and then they can have a 3-hour nap, you know. I can't have that because I have to go home, I maybe get 30 minutes of free time, then I have to go train for 2 hours. So, and I'm willing to train because I want to train, because I want to get better, and that is like the spirit that someone must have if they want to be really good, you know. You have to commit to it. And if you're not committed, like you don't feel like it, you don't have the spirit, you know, that means you're not really dedicated to it, the sport, so you won't really go that far. So you have to have like a certain love for the competitive sport if you're playing competitive sports to go far. I think playing competitive sports, it builds a lot of character. For example, professionals who train 5 hours a day, 7 times a week, just to win that national tournament that they really want to win. So once you have experience of that work ethic, you will use that in the future, because you know that working hard gets you what you want, and I think you will have an edge past other people in the same field if you're more resilient than them, if you have more grit, you know. Are playing competitive sports, or they want to play competitive sports, I mean, it's not hard to get started. Anyone can go to their local Selangor squash or tennis or football team and say, hey, I want to sign up, you know. Then sure, they'll accept you, but they're not really gonna take you seriously if you're not committed to it. If you want to excel at something, you have to be committed to it, you know. So if you're playing competitive sports already, I mean, just make sure that you are willing to go to training every day, or you are willing to go the extra mile just for this next competition or whatever. You just have to persevere, because it will benefit you later on in life because of what you learned in the past and now if you're playing sports, because it's very beneficial. It builds a lot of character. If you want something, if you work hard for anything, you can get anything if you work hard. Let's say you're going for an interview, if someone is hiring you amongst any other people for a job, If they see that you're more resilient than them, or you are willing to work harder, you have more grit than them, they most likely choose you over them because they can see that you have certain qualities that other people don't have, you know. And that helps a lot in life in general.
Oh my god, you guys, we're going to kiss it again, I'm so sorry. Stop making noise, fuck off.